Hello, good people. In this lesson, I want to introduce earth geometry. Now, earth geometry is a very simple topic which comes both in paper 1 and in paper 2 for final examination grade 12, ECZ. So now, when you want to understand what earth geometry is, you need to define the earth itself. So now, let's define what the earth is. So we're saying the earth is divided into two major lines. Okay, into two major lines, namely the lines of latitude and the lines of longitude. So these two lines are the lines that makes up the earth. Hence now, if you are going to understand this fully, you need to know how do latitude and longitude lines look like. So let's say, for example, you are given the earth. This is the earth. We know it's a sphere like that. Okay, don't mind my drawings. And let's assume that this is the center of the earth. Now, this earth we are given, we need to be able to identify the lines of latitude. Now, latitudes, these are lines that run from west to east. So, west to east. So we are saying that the latitude now, these are lines that run from west all the way to east. Okay, latitudes. So latitude look like this. So these are latitude. Lines that run from west to east are called latitude. Okay, so now once we understand and we know how latitude look like, therefore now we should be able to look at longitude. So we say these are latitudes. Okay, lines that run from west to east are called latitudes. Then now, what about longitude? What about longitudes? So longitudes, we are simply saying that are lines which run from north to south. So this is our north and this is our south. So lines that run from north to south are called longitude. So having this now, we are just describing what earth geometry is as a way of introducing it. So we need to understand these lines. So these are what we call longitude. Okay, longitudes. Okay, so these are longitudes. So it may also be like this. These are longitudes. Lines that run from north to south are called longitude. Okay, so once we understand this whole part, then we should know a very important line or latitude, which is called the equator. Now, the equator is always 0 degrees. Okay, and this equator divides the earth into two equal parts, and these parts are called hemispheres. Okay, so this is our equator here. This is the latitude, but it has a special name called the equator. Okay, so it has a special name called the equator. Okay, hence we are simply saying that this equator divides the earth into two equal hemispheres. So once we see, let's say that this is our origin here, and there is an equator passing exactly at the origin here. From this equator, from this line I've sketched here, going all the way up to the northern side, it is actually called the northern hemisphere. So the whole of this region here, it is called the northern what? Hemisphere. Okay, so this is called the northern hemisphere. Okay, northern hemisphere. So we're just trying to understand what this or earth geometry is about. And from this line I've sketched here, going all the way down this side to the south side, this region is called the southern hemisphere. Okay, this region is called the southern hemisphere. Okay, southern hemisphere. So we are just trying to understand what earth geometry is. So once we understand what earth geometry is now at this stage, you know what latitudes are, and you know what longitudes are, and you know what the equator actually do. Therefore, now we need to move on to the next stage, which of course sometimes it comes in paper 1. That is naming longitudes and latitudes on the Earth's surface. Now, I'm sure you have a concept. You have heard, maybe watched a movie or something. Somebody is communicating on the phone and they say, no, where aim is daytime. We are actually going for a party. Others, they are going for a party. Others, they are sleeping. All that happens because of these longitudes and latitudes. So we get to know where you are by which longitude you lie on. So for example, if we are talking of if you are on the western side of the earth, it means that you are behind time, in short. But if you are in the eastern side of the earth, it means that you are ahead of time. So that is why earth geometry is important, because it will give you the knowledge to know why time, there is a difference in time. So now let's come to another stage, which of course will be my last thing in this lesson number 1, naming. Okay, naming, that is what I want you to understand today. Naming longitude. Okay, naming longitudes and latitudes. Okay, and latitudes. Naming longitude and latitudes on the earth's surface. On the earth's surface. So we just write this, earth's surface. Okay, so that is what I want us to look at. So how do we get to name a place? How do we get to name a place? One thing you should understand is that when naming the position of the place, we start with the latitude, then longitude at which that point is lying. So when we can write this down, just pause the video and write, make your own notes. When naming, okay, when naming the position of a place, okay, of a place on the earth's surface, you can say on the earth surface, okay, we start with latitude, okay, latitudes, and then longitude. Okay, so don't ever make mistakes of starting with longitude to name a place. So it is always latitude first, then longitude. Let's say, for example, we are given the earth, we have the earth surface here, and we are given a longitude, and we are given a latitude. There we go. And this as well is another longitude. Don't mind my sketch here. Just try to get the concept and apply it in your final examination. Let's say this is point C there, and this point C is lying on longitude 28 degrees, okay, and we know that this side is the northern hemisphere and this is the southern hemisphere. This is the western side and this is the eastern side of this earth. Hence we have another latitude down here, okay, where we have point B. Okay, this point B is also on this hemisphere down there, and we can say that this is 50 degrees. Okay, this is 50 degrees west, okay, and this is 28 degrees east. Then we are simply saying, let's say that this is lying on latitude 36 degrees north, and this is also lying on latitude 25 degrees south. So now, how do I name these two positions? There's C and B. How do I name these two positions there? So naming these two positions, as we said here, we start with the latitudes, then longitude. So when you look at position C, C is lying on latitude 36 degrees north and longitude 28 degrees east. So we start with the latitude where this place is lying. So let's name this place as follows. We are going to say this C is actually lying on 36 degrees north, okay, comma, what was the longitude? 28 degrees east, and you are done. So that is how you name a place on the earth's surface. Then we come to B. We do the same. B as well. We have 25 degrees south, comma, what is the longitude? 50 degrees west. It is as simple as drinking water. Once you do this, it means that you have named the place on the earth's surface. So now, in this lesson video, my main target was just to describe the earth itself. Okay, we just describe the earth and be able to understand what longitude and latitudes are all about, and also understand a bit about the equator and be able to name a place on the earth's surface. So in my next video, we shall do now is a bit of calculations, how to calculate the difference, how to find the differences in either longitude or latitudes. So that will be my next lesson video. Please don't miss my next lesson video, because it will be so interesting. We are getting to know earth geometry and be able to apply it in our exam and get a distinction. Remember, my target is to help you overcome mathematics in your exam. Thank you for watching. If you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do subscribe so that you don't miss the latest videos that I make. Let us grow together and change the world together. Bye-bye.